Hello. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I drank a Bang energy drink. Whoa, don't drink those. Every time I drank one of those in the past, I got fired from my job. Woo, good thing I ain't getting paid for this. All right, so here we go. This video, in part, is kind of an answer to a Quora question that somebody requested me to answer. Sometimes when I ain't feeling inspired, I need a little help. So this is from Lucy Savage on Quora. She requested my answer. If youth is a state of mind, at what age do we leave our youth? Okay. So if youth is a state of mind, at what age do we leave our youth? So that question is part of the inspiration for this answer, or this talk, or this video. All right? So life, there's a lot of different parts to our being. There's our spiritual, emotional, physical, mostly is what people say. So energetic, emotional are kind of tied sometimes to me in my thinking. But as we go through life, our bodies are growing at a physical rate, and we cannot really control that. And our development, our emotional development, our emotional and intellectual development, which is tied together, in which I would say the result of our emotional and intellectual development would be our spirit, like our energy, like our energetic growth. I'd say that they're tied together. But anyways, I don't know. As we grow emotionally, we have to kind of be faced with dilemmas or lessons or crises, so to speak. And each time we gain mastery over one of these dilemmas or lessons, we kind of graduate into the next level. So, we all have these lessons to learn in life, and they're successive, and we have to master the one that we're facing right now before we can move on to the next one. So, now, whatever lesson you're facing right now is going to be expressed basically in the drama of whatever your life situation is at this moment. So you're alive, you're living, you're doing your thing. There's going to be some problem because the mind always makes a problem. And whatever it is that you're fixating on right now, that's kind of going to be the issue of your life. And that issue is masking the life lesson that is there that you need to unlock to figure out what it is that you're not accepting. Because as we grow intellectually and emotionally, spiritually, whatever, it's all about increasing our perception. So if we're not matured in those areas or developed in those areas, our perception is going to be limited. And as we grow and learn these life lessons, we're going to be enhancing and increasing our perceptions. It's going to move from apparent truth to actual truth, or apparent reality to actual reality. And so there's this model here is going to help us understand and kind of how to categorize how this can look. Okay, so on this side we have the 3 spheres, and then there's our smaller person, our middle-sized person, and our big person, which is child, adolescent, adult. And if you can see, we have destruction on the bottom with an arrow that goes up to production on top. Okay, and then as we go up, acceptance of ... what. So that's kind of the life lesson, is challenging us to what is it that we're not accepting, what is it that we have to accept to ascend these spheres. And the lowest sphere, the first sphere we see, sorry there, I'm trying to get it centered up, is no love of self, no love towards others. Okay, so this is the lowest sphere of existence. The second sphere is love of self, no love towards others. Okay, the second sphere. And then the third sphere is love of self, love of others. Okay? So sometimes as we're growing in life, our parents don't know how to raise us. Maybe we experienced some abuse, there's some trauma there, and it teaches us that, we're not worthy of love. If our caregivers in our life abused us, then that's going to demean our sense of self-worth. And we're not going to know any self-love. And just as the Bible says, the first and foremost commandment is to love God and then love our neighbor as we love ourselves, which implies that, you need to accept and love your world, accept and love yourself so you can accept and love others. So I forgot to mention these two top spheres is governed by world and others. This sphere, the lower two spheres, is governed by self. Okay, so I'm tying that in now. So if we're not taught to love ourselves at a young age because of, junk that happened or whatever, we're not going to be able to love others. And we're not going to think that anybody is worthy of our love, because if the people in our life just abused us or they didn't model correctly, things in our world, then we're not going to accept them. We're going to reject them. And so if we find ourselves in this sphere, we have to do a lot of work, and life is going to be presenting us with a lot of situations to look at life lessons like that will allow us to grow and keep going up in these spheres. One life lesson in this sphere that we have to learn in order to transcend this sphere into the next sphere is that we have to accept and realize that we don't love ourselves. Okay, so this sphere is going to look like self-harming behavior, active addiction. It's going to look like substance abuse, smoking, drinking, overeating, whatever, you name it. Any type of behavior where we are harming ourselves actively, that's the sphere of no self-love. Okay? Just thinking. So, if we've made it into the second sphere, maybe we did something and we realized that, oh, you know what? I'm worthy of love. Jesus Christ died for my sins. God forgave me. Whatever, oh, I did something. Oh, I can forgive myself, whatever. If we get to the stage where we know or we've learned that we are worthy of love and that we can love ourselves, but we don't really know how to quite accept and love others or our world, we're going to be in the second stage, which is the adolescent stage, so to speak. And it's going to look a little different in this stage. Like, we might be coming out of active addiction. We might be doing things, but doing things for the service of ourselves. Like, when I came out of this stage into this stage, I was like not drinking or smoking so much. I was like planning trips. I was gonna do all these fun adventures. I was kind of running from real life. And I was being productive in that I was doing things, but I wasn't doing anything that was actually going to increase any real production or produce any real goods for my life. Sometimes once we learn how to love ourselves, or we learn that we don't love ourselves, and then we start learning how to love ourselves, we have to do these types of goals and accomplish these types of things where we're really only serving ourselves, because we have to see that we're capable. That's one of the life lessons in this area, is that I am a capable person. Not only am I worthy of love, but I am capable of doing things and carrying out goals. That's a really important step in this one. And as we get to a point where we've learned all the life lessons in this sphere, and our life situation will present us the life lesson that we need to learn in that moment. The drama in our lives will be pointing to it. We just have to uncover what it is about our reality or ourselves that we're not accepting. We'll uncover that life lesson and we can move on. But as we start to learn that we're capable and we can achieve these goals and do things, then, we start entering up into the top sphere of loving self and loving others, because we start to learn that not only can we do things, but we can do hard things. And accepting others is really hard because they're not like us. They're different. And so learning how to actually become an adult, and adulthood is marked by children and families, spouses, all that stuff, jobs, bosses, people in life that we all have to deal with. You can have a job and be down here, but since this sphere is governed by destruction, it's not going to be lasting. Or you're here, you're mostly going to be serving yourself. You're loving yourself. There's nothing wrong with serving yourself. But as we come up here to love self, love others, serve self, serve others, serve self, don't serve others, don't serve self, don't serve others. It's synonymous. As we get up to this sphere, serving others is really hard. But we have a foundation and a basis for the life lessons that we've previously mastered that kind of give us the strength to forge ahead, learn how to serve our families, learn how to serve our kids, our spouses, people at our job, bosses, whatever. And a lot of that is humility and being whoever these people in our life need us to be. And that's really hard. And if we haven't yet attained the life lesson that allows us to realize that on that level, we're going to struggle, but we can keep trying. So like in terms of the chakras being applied to this model, these two spheres here are going to be security, sensation, power, love. They're going to be body. And then spirit up here with this sphere is going to be faith, conscious awareness, and then insight, which are the top 3 chakras and energy centers. So anyways, as we all work on growing up spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, this model, I hope it's helpful for anybody out there to realize that we are at where we are at, and that's totally okay. And our life situations are going to be focused on that. The drama in our life situation is going to be focused on what the life lesson is that we need to learn. And we're going to be within one of those spheres. And as we keep working and keep growing, we're going to keep going. Okay? So love yourself. Love others. Have patience with yourself. Have patience towards others. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion towards others. This is the world we made. Love it. All right, guys. Well, hopefully I didn't get fired. Okay. Like and subscribe. If you did like, subscribe.